Hello, and welcome to another video tutorial from Oklahoma City University's Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. In this video, faculty will learn how to set up their D2L gradebook using the Gradebook Setup Wizard. You can see that I have my course open in front of me in D2L. I'm going to navigate to the grades link in the course navbar and click that link. This will open up my gradebook. Now, I have changed my gradebook settings to load the Manage Grades screen when I click on the Grades link in the navbar. By default, it will open to the Enter Grades screen, looks like this, like that. I prefer to change this to Manage Grades so that I don't accidentally flash one student's grades to another student if I'm pulling up the gradebook in the classroom or in my office and somebody's standing there nearby. You can make that change by clicking on the Settings button, scrolling all the way to the bottom, and then selecting the appropriate option in the drop-down menu and clicking Save. So when you click on Grades, go ahead and click on Setup Wizard. And here we see the current gradebook settings in a nice summary for us. You can read through that, and when you're ready, click the blue Start button. There are 7 steps in the Setup Wizard. Step 1 is choosing a grade system. We have a few options in here to choose from. The first one is weighted, the second one is points, and the third one is formula. We won't really be utilizing or going through the formula option. It should be sufficient to say that using this option means you can set up a custom formula for how you want to calculate individual grades and categories, which use the point system. Now, these two options, weighted versus points, let's discuss their differences. In a weighted grading system, the gradebook is going to assign different percentages of a value to different assignments based on their importance. They might be organized into different categories. You can think of a category as like a folder. For example, let's say I have an assignments category, and then I have individual grade items. Assignment 1, assignment 2, so on and so forth. And then let's say I have like a final exam item. Or you could even create a category and place the item inside that category. But either way, in the weighted system, everything has to tally up to 100%. So in our example here, we see that the assignments category is worth 20%. So everything in that category is going to basically tally up and be worth 20% of the overall grade. If you have something like this, a separate item or another category, and it's to 80, that is our 100%. Within a category, individual grade items must tally up together to 100%. So be sure to keep an eye on that. The point system is going to simply assign a set of points to each assignment, with the final grade calculated by adding up all those points that were earned. There are some advantages for using one over the other. For the weighted system, prioritizes important assignments. This allows you to ensure that a major assignment, like an exam or a final research paper or research project, carries more weight in the overall final grade than smaller assignments might, for example, homework or discussion board, or something like that. It also provides flexibility in adjusting the points for individual assignments. If an assignment needs to be added or removed, or you're tweaking something, the points that are available for that particular assignment, the overall point structure can be easily adjusted without needing to recalculate every individual point value of all the items within, let's say, that category. Like I said, that can be 50 points. This could be 20 points. I could add another one and make it 40 points. Doesn't matter. Main point is that they are weighted the same. So this would be a certain percentage, that would be a certain percentage. The next item that you created would be a certain percentage, and they would all need to tally up to 100% within that category. Category itself will need to tally up with everything else, other categories and individual free floating items, if you will, that are not in a category must tally up to 100%. The advantages of a points grading system provides transparency for our students. Students can clearly see how many points each assignment is worth, and they can see what they have earned. It's easier for them to do the calculation. They can add up the points to determine a final grade, and it's pretty straightforward for the students and for you as an instructor. Finally, it does provide equal weighting for all assignments if you so desire. If every assignment is given the same point value, it ensures that no single task is going to influence the final grade more than others. I myself prefer the weighted system. Some professors prefer the point system. Students tend to like the point system because it's easier for them to understand. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, keep it at weighted and click the blue continue button. Step 2 is going to determine how I want D2L to release the final grade. By default, you, as the instructor, have to go in and tell the gradebook to release the final grade to the students at the end of the course. You can tell it to automatically release that final grade by checking this box right here. This way, you don't have to go in and tell D2L to release the final grade. It will automatically. These two options might be self-explanatory. The first option is for calculated final grade. So whatever grade is earned by your student is going to be based on the grading formula that you chose and set up in the gradebook settings. It cannot be adjusted without editing the grade item scores. Or you can adjust the final grade at the end before you release them. So do you want to have the ability to adjust the final grade? Continue. Step 3, how do you want to treat ungraded items? Let's say you have an assignment item in the gradebook, and then you also have the assignment in the activity, and the student does not submit that assignment, and you forgot to go in and place a 0 in that missing assignment. How do you want D2L to treat it? Do you want it to drop ungraded items? Or do you want to treat them as a 0? I like to treat them as zeros just in case I forget to go in there and put a value on myself. And again, I always like to keep the final grade updated as I'm grading throughout the term or throughout the course. So I always make sure that this auto update checkbox is selected so that it's always keeping the final grade up to date and the student can see how well they're doing no matter where we are in the course. Next, click the blue continue button. We have the options to choose for default grade schemes. There are several that are already put together for you and available for you to select from. By default, percentage grade scheme is chosen. There's also, for example, a letter grade scheme or a pass-fail scheme. I'm going to keep it on the percentage. Hit the blue continue button. Step 5 is managing view display options. There are 2 views within D2L, the managing view, which is the instructor view. What do you see as the instructor? And then the student view. What do they see as a student in their side? So how many decimal places do we want to display for us as instructors when we look at the gradebook? By default, that's 2. I'm going to leave that the same and continue forward. Then we have the student view display options. There's several things in here to look at. First, do we want to display the points value in the gradebook? Do we want to display the weighted value in the gradebook. Depending on which scheme you chose, percentage or letter grade, do you want the symbol to be displayed in the gradebook? So percentage symbol or, A, B, C, D, F. And then finally, the grade scheme color. If you select this option, if they make, for example, a 92, the grade will be shaded, let's say, green. If they make a 82, it might be shaded blue. If they make a 72, it might be shaded orange. If they make a 52 or below, or 50 or below, I'm sorry, then it might be shaded red. How many decimal places do you want to be shown to your students? Again, default is 2. And then how many characters do you want to be displayed for the items in the gradebook? Default is 30. Basically, whatever you set the cutoff at, if it's title of that assignment is, or the title of that item within the gradebook is longer than, say, 30 characters, it'll just shorten it and cut it off. And finally, do you want to display the final grade calculation to your students? I like them to see that. So continue. And then finally, 7 is just a summary of the options that we have chosen. If you look through this and you realize you've made a mistake or you would like to change something, you can click the Go Back button. If you're finished, you'll just click the blue Finish button at the bottom. It'll take you to this page with some options. You can start creating new categories for the gradebook or grade items for the gradebook. You can import grades, create a new scheme, manage grade items and categories, or you can enter grades. One final thing that I would like to point out. Just because you create an item in the gradebook does not mean that automatically creating that assignment under activities. These are two separate locations. So be sure that you go in and create the grade item and then go create the activity and tie them together. Look at the assignments tutorial video to learn how to associate an assignment with a grade item. Hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning.